Now let's move on to some other global news stories. Negotiations continue in the ongoing Israel-Hamas war, even as the warring parties remain divided over crucial issues. The United States, European and other mediators, including Qatar and Egypt, are pushing for a new ceasefire deal as well as a post-war peace process. The European Union is currently ramping up efforts for a two-state solution. The EU foreign ministers are in Brussels for a separate meeting with Israeli and Palestinian foreign ministers. The foreign ministers of Egypt, Jordan and Saudi Arabia are also participating in the efforts. Ahead of the Brussels meeting, the EU's diplomatic service sent a discussion paper to its 27 member countries, suggesting a roadmap to peace in the broader Israeli-Palestinian conflict. At the heart of the plan is a call for a preparatory peace conference. The United States and the United Nations are also invited as conveners of the gathering that will aim for the establishment of an independent Palestinian state living side by side with Israel in peace and security. Even as Gaza health officials are claiming the death toll has crossed 25,000, the EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell asserted that Israel's plan to destroy Hamas is not working and peace talks are necessary.
And I am sending this message to Israel too.
وأنا أرسل هذه الرسالة أيضا إلى إسرائيل.
Nobody will win from a regional conflict.
إن أحدا لن يحقق انتصارا من صراع إقليمي.
I am here to explore the situation and to contribute to a way out of the crisis.
Meanwhile, as per reports, senior Biden administration advisor Brett McGurk will travel to Egypt and Qatar for talks this week. Officials are pushing for a deal with new approach to defuse the conflict. This deal reportedly covers 3 phases. As per the proposals made in the first phase, Hamas is to release all civilian hostages in exchange for several hundred prisoners, while Israel is to withdraw its forces from Gaza cities. The second phase is to see the release of Israeli female soldiers held by Hamas in exchange for the release of more Palestinian prisoners. Under the third part of the planned deal, Hamas is to release Israeli soldiers who are held hostage, and then Israel is to withdraw part of its forces from the enclave. The Biden administration has been urging Israel for scaling down the offensive and also considering the prospect of a Palestinian state after the war. However, Netanyahu has constantly pushed back. Biden put forward the idea again in a phone call on Friday. However, it was met with an outright rejection. Netanyahu refused the conditions presented by Hamas to end the war. It would include Israel's complete withdrawal and leaving Hamas in power in Gaza. For more on this, our correspondent Jody Cohen has sent us this report from Renana. Take a look.
While Hamas, which is recognized as a terror organization by several countries, claims it made mistakes on the 7th of October, but only targeted soldiers, the IDF says it has found documents of Hamas's attack plans showing that rape and torture were premeditated, and said that the majority of the hostages taken were not soldiers, including a 1-year-old baby. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Netanyahu has rejected a ceasefire under Hamas's terms, as he said that would leave Hamas in power. Netanyahu has also ruled out a 2-state solution, arguing that would leave Israel without security control and therefore threatened. He has suggested that the Palestinians should have all the powers to govern themselves, but with none of the powers to threaten Israel, but that the Palestinian Authority shouldn't be left in charge of Gaza, as he said they, quote, fund, teach and support terror. Meanwhile, diplomatic efforts are continuing with the White House's Middle East star Brett McGurk in the region this week, as well as a meeting of European Union, Israeli and Palestinian foreign ministers to discuss a way forward. This is Jody Cohen for WION World is One.